Hey everyone, and welcome back, and welcome to part 2 of my mini E-revo repair. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on the front of the car, and I will open the differential up, clean it, and put some new diff oil in it. Also replace the bearings in the steering assembly, and then attach the T-bone. If you don't want to see the repair process, just click on the annotation right here, and if you do, continue watching. So, let's begin. The first thing I need to do is remove the center skid plates, and I need to do that by removing these two screws, and this one, and this one. So, the screws have been removed. Now, pull off the skid plate and turn the cover around, and now you need to remove these two screws. I mentioned in the previous video that I couldn't repair the car because this screw was stripped. I went to a friend and we used a Dremel to cut something in it so that we can use a flathead screwdriver. So now this screw is removed, and just need to remove this one. The screws have been removed, so now just pull off the front bulkhead, and there we have it. Now what I'm going to do is I need to replace the differential, or in this differential, and I'm going to replace the bearings of the steering assembly, and while I'm doing that I'm going to replace all the screws I can reach with the stainless steel RC screws. So let's start on that. So the first thing to get to the differential is to make it easier, just remove these A-arms. So I removed A-arms. Yes, I meant the upper A-arms, not the bottom ones. So now there is a slight hole there with a screw, and you need to remove that screw. So now that screw has been removed. Just remove this grub screw and this one, and then disconnect the drive shafts. Now you should be able to just pull it apart like that. And we have the middle drive shaft, and here is the differential. So get it out, and now just make sure you can hold it without it getting dirty, so just clean a bit with a towel or something else. So here's a cleaned differential, and now unscrew these three screws. So when the screws are right, this bottom part should come out like that, and now you can fill this up with some silicone oil. I use this Media Pro 50,000 CPS differential oil, so I'm going to pour some in. I think that will be more than enough. Now take this head, and when you put it in, just, if you can, turn it a bit to get the oil everywhere. Right? Then wipe off the excessive oil, and then tighten these three screws again. When you are tightening the screws, there will come some oil out of the holes where screws are supposed to be. Just wipe it off, and you should be fine. So the differential is done. It will handle much better now, but before I put it back in, I need to replace the bearings in the steering assembly. So just pull this off. Because these bearings are rusted and they stick to the shaft of this piece, I just can't get them apart. So what I'm going to do is unscrew these two screws, and I'll see what I'm going to do next. So now the screws have been removed. Now I will just try to get this piece off, which is yes, it's working. Oh, I'm almost there. Yeah, I got it off. Get the spring. Oh, this seriously needed to be cleaned. I'm going to clean this spring and this plate. I hope I get the bearing out. We have a shim right there, and now get this out, just push it like this, and we got this plate also. Now I need to get the bearings off. So I looked into my bag with spare parts and I found under this, which is a spare part of this, I don't get this bearing off, so this will go away and I will use this one. Then for this part where I also don't get the bearing out, just throw that away, and have had an old one laying around with a bushing in. I got the bushing out, so just clean that and it'll be fine. So yeah, that's it. Just going to clean all the parts and then I can put it all back together. So all the parts have been cleaned. Now it's time to put them back together. So I use these two new bearings from Avit RC. You can see in the previous video which size they are, and I will mention it at the end of the video. So first off, I think this is the button. This should go in there. Yes. Then we need to put a bearing there. So this one is in. Then the next one needs to be in here. I think this one is right too. Then I think this was supposed to go there. Very hard to get it in. I finally got it in. So now take this, put it in like this. Take this washer and then take this spring and then put this part on, and then tighten it with the screws, these two. I'm not going to be using these ones, but I will use my new RC screws one. So I will be using these two so that they don't rust anymore and they don't lose strength. So just screw these two in right here. So the steering assembly has been fixed. Now it's time to put it back. So you take your differential, and if you use any shims like I do, you need to put them on this side. For the moment I use 4 of them. That were 2 of them, 1, 3, 4, like that. take your differential housing and make sure you put this side of the differential where there is nothing here. So on this side you have some, see, you have a slight ridge there, so don't do it like that. Put it where it isn't. So put it back like that. Take your drive shaft, your steering assembly, which is supposed to go in like that. Put your drive shaft back if it falls out. So great. Just stay in there, stupid drive shaft. Then take your other half and carefully put them together. So now tighten the screw down. If that has been done, take this piece and put it there. So now the differential is back together. Now we need to attach the drive shafts. So drive shafts have been attached. So now just put the air arms back. I'm going to start with the left one, line it up and put the pin through. Then the other side, just the same process, line it up and push it through. So just like that. Now it's time to attach it back to the truck. Before I attach the differential back to the truck, I'm going to place this part here because these screws rusted, and I'm going to replace it with this one. This is an arm that I got with the GPM links. These. So just going to replace that, and then we're going to attach the differential. To attach it, I first need to remove this piece of the drive shaft, so just unscrew this grab screw. So once you have this piece, slide it into the drive shaft. Normally you should have here as something, a piece a little higher, and just align that with these holes, and just like that. Now let's put it onto the truck. So take your differential and try to slide in this drive shaft. So take a little screwdriver and pull it over this piece. So, and now reattach the grab screw. Next, hold it like this so the differential doesn't fall out, and flip it over and attach these two screws. So once you've done that, take your GPM or steering links and screw them in these two holes. So next, just attach this link to this arm. So once that has been done, we need to attach the steering links to the knuckles. They were attached with this screw, but I'm going to use this one, which is a stainless steel one. They have the same length, as you can see. but the head is different, but I don't think that really matters. But I'm going to use some Loctite to lock them in place really good. So now it's time to attach the shocks. Just take your shock tower, shock mount. My shocks still have these rockers attached. We just screw them in there, screw in the shoulder screws, and then these two screws, and then we can attach these shock arms. Now we're able to attach these links. Just stick them in there and tighten the screw down. So the shocks have been installed. Now it's time to attach the arms, the links to the A-arms. They were attached with this screw, and again I'm going to replace them with these stainless steel ones. They do have another head, but I don't think that matters. So I'm going to do it right now. So once you have done that, just screw in this little screw right here. Now it's time to put the front body mount back. Just slide it in and attach and screw in the screw here and these two right there. Now the front has been taken care of. The front is back as it's supposed to be. Now we need to reattach everything down here. Let's start with the center skid plate. Just put it in there and screw in these screws. So it has been done, and now we should attach these skid plates. But I have a problem. While I was with a friend to get that strap screw out, during transport I lost one of these pins. See, this A-arm just comes out. So I'll need to order new pins, and then I can attach the rest of the skid plates and also the T-bone. In that order, I think I will also order some heavier shock oil, 100 weight maybe, for the rear shocks. So there will be part 2. There will be part 3. I mean, this was part 2. Hopefully I can run this thing again soon. See you later. I forgot one thing to tell you. If anybody wants these, maybe you can use them for something. Maybe you think you get the bearings out, just PM me and I'll send them to you.